Good morning, good day, afternoon, whatever it is. So I bought these little pods. I'm just getting over being sick, and I wanted to get some stuff planted, some starters going. I want to plant my onions and broccoli at the end of this month. It is February 1st, so I just went down and bought these little seed pods. I have a little clip of what it looks like before you soak them. They're not ready yet. They need more water, as you can see. Like, I can't squish them all the way. So I need to soak them just a little bit more, and then I can plant them, plant some seeds in them, and I'll show you what that looks like then. But I just kind of wanted to show you, this is just part way. They're pretty tough still. These are just, they're easy. This was like 12 bucks at Home Depot for a 72 pack. And you can buy just the little pods too for refills. I usually make my own starter soil, but like I said, I don't know if you can hear it, I'm just getting over being sick, and I didn't feel like doing that, so I'm taking the lazy way out. I'm gonna let these soak in water for just a little bit longer, and then we'll get to planting. Okay, so this is what your pods should look like now. I can easily squish them, and you just want to break them up just a little bit before you plant all your seeds. And I'm going to do one onion and one broccoli. I'm just tipping it to make sure there's not too much excess water in there. It's currently about 68 degrees in my greenhouse. I have a little thermometer that I hang in here. And it's called a Govee thermometer. And I like it because I have an app I have downloaded on my phone, and I can actually record the humidity and the temperature for individual places. Like, sometimes I'll put it in my brooder, or I had it in with my piglets. I always keep one in my greenhouse, and I can set alarms for the temperature and humidity. If it gets too high or too low in either category, an alarm will go off on my phone. And so I like being able to use that. And I don't think it was very expensive. I got it off of Amazon. I have 3 of these little Govee temperature humidifier monitors. And there's just a little box that I plug into my house, like a little plug-in box. And as long as it's not too far away, it'll keep recording. This is probably about 20 feet from my house, and I've used it out in my aviary before for my brooding pen, and it seems to work. Every once in a while, you just gotta make sure you check the batteries or they'll die. One time I thought the location was just too far away, but in reality it was just because the battery died and I hadn't realized it. I'm gonna grab some more water for this one real quick. Looks like on my phone, because it is pretty nifty. See if I can figure out how much I paid for it too, and I'll put it in here and show it to you. I'm just about ready to start planting these. I think that's probably enough water. And then I'm not gonna go through and do like stakes in here. I just put, I don't know if you can see that, I just put onion, broccoli on here. That's gonna be the whole thing, so I don't need to do individual whatevers. And then clearly when they get big enough, I'll be able to tell what's what when I go to plant them. I don't like using stakes if I don't have to. They always seem to get lost, or they rub off. So I planted these last year and they cured really well. So that's what I'm going to plant again in here. And I'm just going to do 2 or 3 seeds per pod. They don't always all come up. Sometimes I get lucky and they do all come up. In that case, when they get tall enough, I'll just separate out the seedlings, and then I'll have a few more to plant, and that's fine. More the merrier. I actually still have plenty of onions right now from last year's harvest, which is great. That's what we want. can't really see with my sunglasses on in here. It's a nice day today. It's kind of windy out, but can't really complain for it being February 1st, and we've had some really cold weather the last week. It's been 15, 16 degrees when I wake up and I'm outside doing chores. So it's a really nice day today. It's great for planting some seedlings. Well, that's why we're out here doing that. Out here in my greenhouse, it should be, I mean, broccoli and onions are pretty cold hardy anyways. But I do want to protect the little seed babies under my greenhouse till they get started. And then I have that raised bed that I got ready a couple weeks ago, and it already has a row cover on it. So when these are big enough to go out, I'll just flip that row cover back and plant them under there. And then when it's warm enough, I can get rid of the row cover, and I got my head start on my onions and broccoli. Oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep adding 2, 3, how many seeds I drop in each of these little pods, and then I'll just gently cover them up. Kind of an odd sound. I can hear the water absorbing into each pod. Is that odd? It must be the plastic like crackling underneath or something as each one gets bigger. Just gonna use the rest of the seed packet. There's no point in keeping just 5 or 6 seeds in my opinion. I have other, wow, brain fart. I have other onion seeds. So I'm just gonna throw whatever else I have left in here and hope more pop up, and I'll separate them out. Now, so they're all are in there. You can't see them, they're black seeds. I'm gonna go ahead and just gently kind of push them all down and push some of the soil over them if I can. Don't want to push them too deep or anything. I just want them nice and gently pressed into each pod. Don't know if you can hear all the noise in the background. My little house is kind of busy today. You can hear all the dogs running around trying to get into my greenhouse right now, and my son's up on the hill with one of his cousins taking parts off his square body. Okay, well, kind of. You can still see some of the seeds if you really look close, but that's okay. So there's my first little Jiffy pod. Let me get the top here. Oh, this whole set, like I said, it was like $12 at Home Depot. You can get them on Amazon. I have them at Walmart. They're quick and easy. That's completely ready. I know I'm already in a greenhouse, but this is just its own little greenhouse. So if you don't have your own greenhouse, well, I started my broccoli and my onions yesterday in my greenhouse, and I have this little thermometer in here. I was also talking about the Govee app, but it's snowing outside, so I'm going to set up just a small heater in here, just so at night, I think I want it to stay like 50 degrees in here, and I'm not gonna have a whole lot in here, and everything that I'm starting is cold hardy, but I still don't want it freezing, and there has been a few nights where it's getting down in the teens. So I'm going to set this up, and I'll just keep it on 50 degrees, so then it has the little thermometer at the end of it, and so it's like an auto heat, just like your house. So when the temperature hits 49, my heater will automatically turn on, and then when the temperature's back up to 50, it'll shut off. So that way, like during the day when it's clearly warm enough. It won't be running. It'll just turn on and off as needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up just so I can protect my little plant babies, and then as I have time, I'll just keep starting more. I have a lot of herbs that I want to grow this year, and some of those are quite sensitive to the cold snaps. So I'm working with what I got, and this is what I got, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, here's my heater. Stuck on something. So this is my little heater that I will set up in here. I just set it on a brick and keep it away from all the panels. It worked completely fine last year. And that's what I'm working with. That's what I'm doing. So this is the little brick that I'll set it up on. I have this cord kind of set up like this just so it's kept away from it. And I have this in here from last year, so I will just reuse that. I'll have to bring an extension cord in here. I don't have one set up in here anymore. And I'll just dig that underneath the paneling over here in the corner. What was this? I have it like this. Like that. That should be fine. Excuse me, can I have that? Thank you. Wow, this is kind of a mess. See if I can untangle this. Okay. Oh, actually, I guess I can just plug it into that, can't I? And then I can do away with that because I'm not plugging in lights right now. So let's do that. Let's just get rid of this for now. I'll leave that there. I have grow lights that sometimes I like to put in here, but I don't need that right now. And then I want this. This is a thermometer. So depending on where all my plants are, I'll probably try to have this as centrally located as possible. I mean, heat rises. I don't want to just leave this on the ground, but have it be real warm in here where all my plant babies are. I have them all on shelves. I'll show you. Maybe I can just like that. I'll clean it up. Just attach it. Maybe I should attach it here. Let's take that down for a minute. I think this is where I had it last year. I think this is what that's for. I can bring up here. And then just trying to keep it up and out of the way so I'm not hitting my head on things, and then I can leave it about here. I mean, probably all right. Not exactly where my plants are, but there. Okay, I'm gonna go get the extension cord. Alright, I'm just trying to dig a hole over here in the corner so I can try to get my plug in my cord here. I can feel it. I'm just gonna try pushing it through from the other side. Okay, so that's all plugged in now. Now I need to set this. I think I want it at, oh, that's already turned on. So was at 76 right now. I don't need it at 76. So let's go down. I think I'm gonna do it. Let's just set it at 50. And as you can see, this is already on. So I just have that on. The 2, the fan's all the way up. Just make sure there's nothing really around it. I mean, it's just like a little heater fan, nothing fancy. And it's connected to my thermostat. Okay, so I'm gonna put, whoa, calm down there. I'm gonna fill all of these with lettuce. I already pre-soaked the soil. It's still pretty wet, so let's get to planting. Oh, and these are so small. You can do 2 or 3 per little planter. If they all sprout, I can always separate out the seedlings, but here are all my little lettuce seeds that I'm working with. So let's go ahead and get these in. See if I can not be in the way as well. Not burn myself on this little heater. If I get more than 2 or 3 in there, that's okay. Like I said, if they all sprout, I can always go through and separate out the seedlings. My birds will definitely appreciate any lettuce that we can't eat, so it's always okay to have an abundance of that. Or my son's guinea pigs, they really love that as treats. So we like lettuce around here. I should have been growing this all winter long, but I just didn't have the oomph to keep my greenhouse warm through all the winter months, or to take up space on my countertop. Maybe this coming year I might try to do something like that. I would like to grow throughout the winter, and the lettuce or spinach is always a really good choice because it is cold hardy. It can last through some of those colder temperatures, but I just didn't do that this year. Maybe that'll be a goal for this coming year. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of soil, just a little bit over the top, just to cover those seedlings. Literally just going to sprinkle some. I don't want it to weigh it down too much. Rock. And then when it is time to water, I'll just come out here with a spray bottle and just mist it slightly. I don't want to overwater these with it being so cold and wet outside already. It'll probably be a few days before I need to come out and water, and what I'll do is I'll just come and I'll feel the soil. I'll dip my finger in the soil and just try to feel with my finger if I think that it's ready to water or not. A lot of times, depending on what soil you get, you can tell by just looking at it too. It'll have a darker appearance, but that's not always the case with all soil. Depending on the components of it, sometimes the soil just has that darker appearance. So that doesn't work with everything, with all soils, but with some of them it does. All right, well, here's my broccoli babies. As you can see, some of them have a few that have came up, so when they get a little bit bigger, I'll go ahead and separate those out, and I will just tear this off when I go to plant them, whatever you want to say. My onion seeds, I'm pretty sure aren't good. Oh, they did not come up, and that's okay. Like I had mentioned earlier, I have more, so I'll go ahead and just sow some more. That tends to happen sometimes, and they are older seeds, so I will just plant some more. But here are my lettuce sprouts. They're doing great. The temperature is holding in here. Oh, you can't, it's kind of hard to see. We're at 59 degrees right now. Thanks for joining me as I planted the one of many vegetables I'll be growing this season. Got a head start in my greenhouse for these babies. Got my little
heater setup going. If you have any questions on that, just leave a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It really helps me right now, especially since we got some surprise snow. There's several inches out there right now, which I was not expecting, so I'm glad I got that all set up. Having a controlled environment really helps your seedlings thrive. So until next time, thank you for watching.